turn the cord on here so I can have this. Yeah, I did. And so for those of you who are listening, this is only for 605s. I can't say that enough times. This is only for 605s. You will, and you move your competency folio when complete over to the DRF, but do not do that until it is complete and you're in 605. We have folks who only hear and they, I don't know, there seems to be a lot of, I heard this, or I'm hearing this, or somebody told me this, or I heard from another intern. Every group is different. And so don't assume because Joyce has moved her competency folio that you're supposed to move yours. You are not. I tried to only send that to the 605s, but I know how students share one with one another. So I can't say enough times. That's only for the 605s, and it's only for those who have completed their competency folio in 605. If you have not completed your competency folio, you are not to move it. You are to complete it, then move it, because once it's gone, it can't come back. So I'm checking with Joyce. All right. There's Joyce. So, for you folks in 605, let me just start a little bit. You should have completed all of your 6 evidence artifacts should be complete. Your internship log, you upload your final competency folio, and I've already graded Joyce's. I and your site supervisor do your certification of competency. You have to do all of your dispositions, all 6 of them, and then your site supervisor does their 3. And so the only thing left is for Joyce is licensure evaluation, and I will remind her grader to do that today. And so Joyce is done. So that's what a completed portfolio is supposed to look like. And obviously she completed her folio for competency. When it was done, she uploaded it here and I graded it here. So this is what a completed portfolio looks like that goes to the state for you to get your license. And so the only thing that's supposed to do is she gets an overall licensure evaluation of everything in this portfolio. And I will make sure that that gets taken care of. Very shortly. Now, for you 605s, okay, for you 605s, on or about April 1st, you will get an email from Seth Oprea, O-P-R-E-A, in your Garden Web email. Do not disregard that. I know you don't know Seth. Seth Oprea. He will send you an email on or about April 1st. That is for you to start initiating the licensure process with the state of North Carolina to update your license. There's a $55 fee and you have to fill out Form V. But he will cover that with you on April the 1st. So in the meantime, if you email me, I'll just forward it on to him. But I do not handle state licensure. We have a licensure analyst who does that for the university. His name again is Seth Oprea. But if you have anything else that you need done, just let me know and I'll work with you on that piece. If you have students in your same cohorts or friends of yours who are in this program or people you know and they're in 605, if they are wondering or worrying, send them to me. I've worked with one this morning. It's not mine, but you're all mine in a sense. So since I handle all clinical experiences. So, but this is what we all want, is a portfolio that looks like Joyce's. So that's it for the 605s. All right. Any questions? Joyce is the only 605 representative that I see right now. Let me click on this thing. Yeah. So, Joyce, anything that you need me to answer for you? Again, I'll have your licensure done. I'll get that done probably tomorrow. Now
Okay.
that your portfolio is complete. So you're just in a holding pattern in terms of finishing up the class, and on April 1st, you'll get your information from Seth.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joyce.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right. So now, Pauline, you're with me today in 602. What you got going on?
A lot. Just working on everything, trying to catch up, playing catch up.
Okay. All right. For those of you who are in 602, whether you're add-on or regular, if you're a add-on in 602, you're in the 5-semester program, which means that you don't really have a class this semester. You're just in the 602 semester. One of the things that you can do, and one of the things that I suggest, if your tasks are going slowly for your evidence artifacts, is to utilize that new internship folder that I have built for you in Blackboard. Let's look at that. Let me sign out. Let's look at that. So what I've done, if you go to when you go to Blackboard, and y'all can see my screen here, when you go to Blackboard for you 601s and 602s, and this is for the 3s, 4s, and 5s, theirs just looks a little bit different. But when you go to Blackboard, you're going to have over here under your courses, you're going to have 601 and 602, but you're also going to have one that says 697 or 698. And when you open it up, it's going to have a place for you to over here, for you to communicate not only with me directly and just you and me, you'll also have a place where you can get peer reviews over here for other folks who may not be in class this semester. Hold 1 second while I send an email. I forgot one. Okay. That's the wrong thing to do. All right. Let me send this right quick. Let me see what this is. Yes. Somebody's knocking at the door. All right. I had to send that one to Rhonda. Hopefully Rhonda can join us now. All right. Excuse me. All right, I'm back. All right, so in Blackboard, you click on 697 or 8, and it's going to have over here on the left-hand side where you are right now, like 601 for the 3 or 5 semester program. Chris would be in that. That's for either add-on or regular. 602 for the 5 semester program. 603 for 3 or 5. 604 Then all your leads are down here. If you're in the second semester of if you're in the non 602 semester, there's a 698. I'm in the 697 one now. There's a place when you click on these where you can go in and drop work in that's rough for me to look at. Just got the reminder of what we're looking for, and you can come in here and I will give you feedback on your work. Or if you want peer reviews, you can click on discussion board. There's Rhonda.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you gentlemen doing?
Fine. I'm sorry, you weren't in the group email groups, so I'll make sure that you're in the group from now on. So we're going over the new intern shell in Blackboard. So again, if you want comments from other students, and I will comment here too. You know, so what you can see is, like with this one, let's see if it'll open up. There's been a number of students who have been putting work in, and so as you can see, even though Tammy is not mine, I'm just another peer reviewer like anybody else, and so her work was good on task 1, but just for her own edification, and because I did not see a DeFore reference in her one, not required. But if you want to know how to set up and run a PLC the quickest and easiest and most effective way, Richard DeFore's got a little quick and dirty all things PLC that's only 2 or 3 pages that will really help you in actuality. I mean, you know, her task 1 is fine in terms of the write-up, but in reality, I'm concerned that she's able to actually run a PLC. And so that's the kind of things that, you know, sometimes I comment on their format's bad, or you didn't create, you know, you didn't have a reference page, or, you know, you should always start each task with the task directions, so your reader will know what you were supposed to do, and it'll remind you of what you were supposed to do, just things like that. And so I do that. I go on discussion board every day, and whether they're my student or not is immaterial to me. I like reading the work, and so I read the work and give you comments back as to what I think will help you not only write your paper better, but to actually have a better experience, better critical experience. I mean, nobody likes working with PLCs that don't work. Well, that's the worst thing in the world. So I will give you feedback on your work through this shell. It's a way for me to track it. I've done it forever with email, but this is a better way for us to track it. Maybe get another set of eyes on your work. So if you don't care who sees it, you put it in discussion board. If you only want me to see it, you click on your program over here on the left, and you put the work into me, and I'll get back to you same day. This is always. I'll get back to you. So that's what this intern shell is for. And it seems to be working pretty good. I'm getting a lot of stuff, and so I'm happy about that. And so I'm getting to look at a lot of different ones. Even if they aren't mine, I get to see what everybody does. So that's what the intern shell is for. I've had people say, now, am I required to use that? No, you're not required to use it. You are not required to use that. That's just to help you. My understanding is that instructors are not giving as much feedback as maybe students would like, and this is another avenue to get feedback. Questions about the intern shells?
No.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
On the internship log, we keep the artifacts from our competencies there. Is that correct?
All right, on your internship log, you just write in on your log, you write in what you did, and you link it back to where your artifacts for your competencies, where you can find them. It's kind of a roadmap for you to remind you where things are. I know y'all aren't as old as I am, but I don't sleep too much, but when I sleep, I forget things. And then when I have to go back and find them, it's nice to have a little reminder sheet as to where those artifacts are, that I can pull them out and put them into that competency folio. And so that's more for you than it is for me. What I'm interested in is just the list of activities that you did, that it's a diverse list of activities, and it's not 80 hours every semester of bus duty. That they're diverse ones, but you can kind of put in, it's a neat way to keep up with your artifacts where they are, so that when you go to your competency folio and start looking for those artifacts that prove that you did those competencies, you have a list. Oh, I did this, this, and this. I know where those things are.
Okay, thank you.
It's just a good record keeping device. Now, everybody knows about their competency folio, that if you're in 601 this semester, if you're in the 3-semester program of 601, which is add-on licensure, you have to do all 21 competencies this semester. If you're in the 5-semester regular master's program, you only have to do the first 12. I would encourage you to do all 21 this semester if at all possible, but that's up to you. And you got to have proofs, and that's what Rhonda was talking about. Your internship log, where you keep a record of your hours, that you do clinical experiences, is a neat way to keep up with your open-ended competency for artifacts. That's an easy way to do that. So let's look at that. We'll go to task stream. All right. So all of you should have, whether you're in 601 or 605, it's immaterial. You should all have your folio, your competency folio loaded. So all you have to do is click here, and it will be waiting for you. And so there's mine, and I've got one for everybody other than the 601s and the 601s. Yours is going to look like this. Everybody else in 602 through 605 is going to look like that. They look the same though. It's immaterial. It's just the title. But the difference is the way that you load them. There's a little bit different. There's a little variation in the way that you load your shell, so it's important to know which one you have. But once you get into your folio shell here, you've got your 21. Now, as always, this digital learning competency, that's not live yet, so don't worry about it. So you're responsible for communication down through visionary, and here's a place at the end of the semester that you upload your sign log. It's here in your competency folio. That's for the students who are in 601 and 602. It's right here. If you can't find it, let me know. There is some variation to this, but it should be right here at the end of your competencies. And so at the end of the semester, you put the signed copy with 80 hours right there. But again, if you're in 601 and you're in the 5-semester program, you do the first 12. If you're in the 3-semester program, you do the first 21, which is communication down through visionary. We want a proof that you did that. I have put out 2 documents for you, and you can find those over here in Blackboard. If you go back to the internship shell and you go to intern materials, you will find a copy of the internship log that we expect you to keep. By round, what's required in terms of where your artifact proofs have to come from, like which evidence artifacts, and open-ended. I have that document. I have where you can find your open-ended competencies, and where you can find your competencies from the 6 evidence artifacts. I have those documents right here to help you build your competency folio. I also have some things that students have requested. We've got a couple of Marzano documents here and a graphic organizer example. Anytime students ask me for things that help them build either their competency folio or their evidence artifact portfolio, I put them in this Blackboard shell because probably more students would like to see those. And so they're under intern materials. All the videos that I do are under Zoom video links. All the handbooks are here. So if you need something, you can email me, or if you're on this Blackboard shell, just look in here. I probably already got it uploaded for you. But everybody, I'm hoping, understands how to go in here and upload a communication competency. Oh no. If I can get this to move. All right, there it is. All right, so as you can see, for communication, I select one of these buttons. If it's a screenshot, picture, PDF, I use text and image. If it's a PowerPoint or a Prezi, I use slideshow. If it's a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet, I use attachments. If it's a video, like from Zoom or an MP4 video, I use video. If I've uploaded that video like a peer review to YouTube, I can upload the link right here. And whichever, make sure that you select the correct button for the type of media you're trying to upload as your competency proof or artifact. If it does not give you the opportunity to write an explanation, you simply click on section right here, and it will give you a drop down where you'll have a box to do that. And it'll put a little sub box over here under communication. But usually when you click on this, like for attachments, it will give you a place to write your description. Let's see if mine will work here. I don't know if mine will work or not. Yeah, upload from computer. And I can upload a document here from my computer. And it will take me to File Manager, and again, I use attachments, so this needs to be a Word document, open, upload, and close. It will start the upload. All right, it has uploaded. All right. And then it added this one. Save and return. And then it gives me the opportunity at that time I can click on section. Come on. And it'll give you a box, as you can see, to write your description in. So that's how you upload these but making sure that you use the appropriate button. All right. And then you request comments. Once you get it, this thing's going to give me, I'm going to get out before it hangs me on request comments. And then once you get it uploaded, it'll give you the opportunity to request comments. You request comments from me, gives you a pop-up box. Pretty simple. The main thing is choose the appropriate button for the type media that you're trying to upload. And that's how you upload your competency proofs or artifacts in your competency folio. If you don't have a competency folio loaded by now, just you click on folios and web pages. If there isn't one loaded that you can go in there and upload work into, you need to let me know quickly. And I will walk you through the steps of uploading you a competency folio. Okay. All right. So that anybody else need anything in task stream while I'm here, or can I close it out?
Close it out.
Close it out. Excellent. Let me get out of that. Task stream really slows me down. Let me get out of it. There we go. All right. Okay. Where do we need to go next? Chris, what have you got on your mind?
I had a question about the APSLs. It's a real quick question, but some of the feedback I'm getting from my peer reviews, they were asking, you know, where's the video uploaded into your paper? One of the things that I noticed on the syllabus said APA format, don't put hyperlinks in your actual paper. Like I've got a video and everything for my PLCs, and that's for task stream, correct? That's not for like to embed in the APSL, is it? Like the tasks?
Well, what you do is when you, I just got out of Blackboard, I just got out of task stream. Let me go in, let me go back in.
Well, you don't have to go back in. I know how to navigate task stream.
Well, what I'm going to show you is don't embed videos in your Word document.
Okay.
Don't do that. Don't do it for Blackboard. Don't do it for task stream. That creates a nightmare on our end when we go to download it to try to read it and make comments or to grade it. The thing that you do is when you go to upload your evidence narrative. Come on now, work a little better for me today. All right, let me go in as author, as a student. All right, Chris, you're a regular, aren't you? No, you're add-on, right?
No, I'm 5 semesters.
You're regular. All right, so when we go in, come on. And I go to my work page, and when I click on AppSell, it's going to give me these buttons. And what I can do is, we want your narrative, your evidence narrative, not to contain any artifacts if they are not the same media. That's why they have these different buttons. If you have a video, you can upload your narrative document, then you can upload your video too at the same place.
Okay.
You can upload multiples. Let me show you some of the older work from back in the day. Before we had competency folio, you had to put all of your artifacts with your narrative. Now we just ask you to put things in there that don't, so that you don't hang us up, that you put them, but we don't make you, we allow you to put your artifacts if they're the same media inside your documents now. There was a time when we did not do that. And so,
like the reason I'm asking is one of my peer reviewers, like when you read her Word document, it's got a video embedded in it. And that was one of the feedback she docked me for, was that there was no video in it. And I didn't see it in any of the prompts. That's why,
No.
we're both learning this together. So I'm not.
Right, I understand, but no. For us, I would prefer that you not do it that way. But because, again, I'm not going to be able to download it on my end. It's going to be a problem. So don't embed the video in a Word document and then try to upload it into TaskStream. Doesn't work real well. And so,
Like I have it on YouTube. I could just give you a link, correct?
that's correct. That's what we prefer. That is what we prefer. Is just a link. TaskStream is wonky. I mean, if you try, that's why they have this different buttons in TaskStream is they tell you can't just put everything in one document and just drop it all like a bomb on us. We have to have it separated out. Let's see who I've got here. I know as soon as I pick one, it won't be one that shows what I want you to see. Let's see what tablet it's got. Yeah, this is just going to show that. But what I was going to show you is that you will have an evidence narrative, and then you will have other artifacts attached right underneath it. That's the way that should look.
Okay.
Don't try to put everything in one document. TaskStream's not going to show me that today. I'll figure out how to make it. Once they update it, it looks like it's moved some of that stuff around, but I'll figure that out. But try to keep your media separate, especially going to Blackboard or to TaskStream. It really makes it hard on me when I can't download things. It just hangs on me and spins. And that happens quite often. So again, don't mix your media. There's a reason why they have different buttons in TaskStream for you to use. Good question, though, Chris. I understand exactly what you're talking about, but in the prompts, it didn't say that all that stuff had to be embedded. So don't worry about it being embedded. That's what I was talking about. You get all these people who hear all these things from other folks. Follow the prompts. Follow the directions. That's going to be a bigger problem than not being a problem. When folks try to download that and grade it and it won't download, that's going to be a problem. So don't create any problems for your graders. Good question. Mary, I see you joined us.
I was a little late. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. You're done. Why are you here today?
I don't know. I just thought I had to be here. I don't want to be here.
Well, if I were you, I believe I would. I believe I would move on then, since you're done. Did you finish? Did you move your competency folder over yet?
I did everything in there. I don't know if there was anything else I was supposed to do.
Now, you finished your 21 competencies?
Yeah, back in October.
Yeah. Did you get my email Friday to move it over to your portfolio so I can grade it?
I don't know. Let me check my email. I don't think so. I'm sure you did, and I overlooked it.
No, I might have forgot you, though, is what I'm thinking.
I don't recall seeing it, but
All right. Let me see. I'll forward you one that I sent out earlier today, I think.
Friday you sent one?
Yes, I did. But
Here
you
it
know-
is. When your competency follow is complete, please follow these directions.
There you go.
All right, now I've got something else to figure
Now
out.
you've got something to do. So go ahead and watch that little video that Dr. Hamilton did for us. Move your competency folio over so I can grade it and you'll be through.
Okay.
All right. So I've given you a task to do today. Is anything else?
Nope, because I don't have enough tasks to do today.
All right. All right.
See you. Thanks for all your help.
Thank you. Good to
Bye.
see you this week. All right. Bye-bye. Clarence, what have you got going on?
Just like someone said, I'm just checking in, making sure I'm not missing anything.
All right.
Right now, I just need to get caught up. Just do a lot of writing.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
know.
still just getting an understanding of exactly what's going on, and I think I got a pretty good direction. So
Well, I'm
just gotta get
glad.
to writing.
I am glad. I am glad.
I have a question.
Yes.
So for this internship, for this semester, how many hours? Is it 80 hours for this semester?
Always 80.
Okay.
It's always 80.
And altogether, it's 400?
Well, if you're in the 3-semester program, it's 240. If you're in the 5-semester program, it's 400. It's 80 a semester for every how many semesters you're in the program.
Okay.
And we like to see it, one of the things that does is keeps people from doing 400 in one semester. They're like on a 2-week trip to the Outer Banks with students, and they put that down as their entire 400 hours of internship. That's not the idea. That's why it's 80 a semester, and that's why we want to see those activities, a variety of activities. But seriously, I've had students go on a 2-week trip with candidates go on a 2-week trip with their school and want to file that as their 400 hours for their entire internship experience, a week or two that they went somewhere with students. That's not the idea. And so again, it's 80 per semester, and it needs to come off or be closely related to that list of suggested activities. And it needs to be in the kind of that ratio where the majority of what you do is leadership activities, and then technical, and then the last, the smallest amount of hours should be bus duty, supervision, yard guard, those kinds of things. Yes, that's a necessary part of school administration, but I figure once you've done bus duty about twice, you've probably conquered that one. You're probably fairly proficient at that after about 2 times. That's one of those things that doesn't require a lot of long-term skill.
Where would I be able to find that list again of activities?
Oh, go back to that intern shell that I've got for you. It's either 697 or 698 in Blackboard, and click on intern materials, and right there it will be. Suggested list of clinical internship activities. It's right there in the Blackboard shell. You've got one under your class that says either 697 or 698. When you click on it and go to intern materials, you will find your list of suggested activities.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And let's look at that one. That's a good idea. Let's look at that one right quick. Let me get over here. There we go.
Yeah, I think they have me doing too much bus duty.
Got to do something besides bus duty. I mean, that's a part of it, but it can't just be that's all you do. I mean, you need to share with your administrators these lists and say, here are the things that they expect me to do. And right there they are. You can see leadership opportunities is by far the largest amount of these. And then supervision is the least. And then technical knowledge. So this prepares you to be a principal. These things in this leadership list. This prepares you these two lists prepare you to be an assistant principal. Now I understand nobody gets the battlefield promotion. Everybody's got to be an assistant principal first. And that's why we have these things on the list for you. This is what assistant principals do right here, these last two. But if you're ever going to be a principal, you need to make sure you get some of these things during your clinical experience, because these are the things that principals do. It's pretty much that's the way it works. And so if all you're doing is supervision activities, you're trained to be an assistant principal. That's not going to bode well for you long term. I've told you the story about George, one of my former clinicals that had 385 hours of supervision out of 400. And then his principal didn't feel like he could recommend him to get his license. And I was like, aren't you the one that assigned him to do bus duty both morning and night for a year and a half? So, and yeah, well, but if you were cognizant enough that you're now concerned about whether he got it or not, don't you think that somewhere along the line that you should have made the connection that you were the one that was assigning him to do bus duty day and night, and that's all he did? Yeah, but I needed him to do that. Well, so my point is George's administrator wasn't looking out for George. George's administrator was looking out for George's administrator. He was not looking out for George. He just needed somebody to do bus duty because he didn't want to have to do it. Or he couldn't convince any teachers to do it. Nobody wanted to do bus duty at that school. And so he put George on it and told him he was an intern. Well, that's all well and good. But now, the other part of that, that social contract is at the end, don't be complaining that I didn't do anything other than bus duty if that's all you assigned me to do. But again, that doesn't happen all the time, but it happens more than I'd like for it to happen. Is that administrators at the end, well, I don't know if they got enough experiences or how good they did. Well, now, that speaks more to your competence than theirs. If you didn't give them the opportunity, or if you assigned them something else to do, and now you have issues. So, but there's your list of things. And this list is updated from time to time. One of the things I do is I talk to students and I talk to administrators, and we collect a little bit of data about, what things should we add, what things should we take out. Looking at this list right here, the feedback from Wake County from two of my interns that have interviewed within the last week or so. Look at that. Mary's already got her sent in for evaluation. Mary's on the ball. That they got asked a lot of these things. The feedback from the Davis Drive job and another job, two different interviews in Wake County. The three finalists for the Davis Drive job were all my interns, and I got them all to tell me about their experience and these are the kinds of things that they were asked. They were asked a lot about RTI, a lot about EVOS, given data sets to look at. PBIS was a biggie. These are the kinds of things, because you're interviewing for an assistant principal job. These are assistant principal tasks. And so these were the kinds of things that they were asked a lot about. And you can't fake your way through those. Okay. All right. Another email. So questions about what you should be doing during your clinical experience. If you're not getting to do these kinds of things, you need to let me know, and I'll come and see you, and I will set a time to sit down with your administrator. I won't be coming to punch them in the nose, but I'll come to try to lobby or persuade them as much as I can that you need some of these activities. Now, I've seen all of you within the last month. I'm very impressed with y'all are at three good schools. Chris and Graham are they're in Asheboro, and I know that they're getting good experiences. Clarence, I mean, I've had the best luck with interns at ACOC of anywhere, so I know that you have the opportunity for experiences. And so, Pauline, I hope you're my first intern there at, was it Barnwell Road? You're my first one there. So I hope that you're getting these experiences. If you're not, I need to know.
I'm going to give him a copy of this. And
Yes.
I'm
Can
gonna
you see my head nodding up and down? Yes.
I'll make sure I'll give him a copy, and I'm going
Yes.
to really emphasize the fact that I need more technology and more leadership.
You need this stuff if nothing else.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
you need these things. Otherwise, you're never going to get an AP job. Just not going to happen. You need this stuff that's on the screen right now. This technical knowledge. That's what, because you're in Wake County.
And if not, then I'll call you. Then I'm going to need your backup.
Well, that's what I mean. Let me help you with those kinds of things. I'll be glad to do that. That's a good idea. Let me. Gosh, my email just keeps going. My email just keeps going crazy, and Zoom does not like it when I get email while I'm trying to do these things. Let me look right quick at. See if I can find. Yeah. All right, in the box. All right, let me do a search right quick. All right, so let me move this out of the way. All right, so here's the specific things that he got asked in Wake County. MTSS, multi-tiered system of support. Now, everybody understands that MTSS, multi-tiered system of support, has RTI in it, it has EC in it, it has EVOS in it. All that MTSS, that multi-tiered system of support, everybody understands. It also has that PBIS component in it. It's that one question hits about 4 or 5 of those things on the technology list. Everybody understands what MTSS is.
Yes, sir.
Where we start with RTI and those assessments, and we move through all those other acronyms that how do you provide interventions? Free time, instructional leader, but the big one is, and said where they really took you over the hurdles on all the acronyms that we use as APs and all that technology stuff was they started with MTSS, which hits them all. That was the first question you got asked. Again, you're applying for an assistant principal job. If you don't know all those things, again, all those acronyms that I just covered, if you don't know all of these acronyms right here, because most all of these have implications for the multi-tiered system of support, or from here up, starting here and go up. If you don't know what MTSS is and you don't know the individual components, which I've spelled out for you here, you're in trouble when you go in terms of applying for an AP job. You got to at least get those. That's the minimum you've got to have. So let's go back and look what Drew said, that, went through all that, went through interventions, which, backs that up. How do you build relationships with staff? How you balance free time with work? And how do you see yourself as an instructional leader in the school? The thing to remember if you're interviewing anytime soon, which most of you aren't, but if you are, is your strengths need to be dispositional. I'm on time. I work well with others. I'm ethical. I'm honest. I'm dedicated. I'm responsible. Those kinds of things. Those are your strengths. And that's the kind of questions they ask you, as you can see from this list, that lead to those kinds of things. I'm punctual. The kinds of things that your weaknesses are inexperience based. I haven't had a lot of experience with X, Y, or Z, but I know that I need to do that as soon as I get hired. Your weaknesses should be things that you can correct, that you can fix. Not things that are endemic. I've interviewed assistant principal candidates before, and they said, "Well, I'm not really a morning person." I beg your pardon. We're an early start high school. We roll out every morning at 6 o'clock, and students are in class by 7, and you're not a morning person. Well, then, I can't fix that. One of the things that principals, when we're hiring new people, I know that this sounds a little bit discriminatory, but one of the things that we're figuring out is what have I got to do? What have I got to teach this person to get them up to speed? How much input am I going to have? How much am I going to have to do? It's not that we don't want young people and we don't want new people. It's just, how much am I going to have to do? And I can't fix, I'm not a morning person. I can't fix that, because I figure by the time you're ready to be an AP, you're a fully formed adult. I can't fix, I'm not a morning person. I can fix, I haven't been trained to do teacher evaluations yet. I can fix that as principal when I hire you as AP. But I can't fix, I'm not a morning person, or I really don't like having to work under time pressure or wear a watch or any of that stuff that I hear nowadays. If I had hair, it'd fall out, that folks say in interviews. Young people coming into interviews, like for teachers, I sat in on some teacher education interviews last week before, and people come in, they didn't want him wearing a watch. You do understand that in the school business that we operate off a clock basis. That's how we work. Bell rings, go to class, bell ring, go to the next class, and everything. We have lunch at the same time every day. The bus comes at the same time. You have to be on your duty station at the same time every day. And we have people that want to be teachers that don't even wear a watch because they don't want to be tied to that, don't want to be that structured. No. You've got to convince people that you are a solid citizen, that you're where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be. That's the first thing. We don't care how smart you are, in the first round. The first round of interviews, we're just trying to figure out if you're a solid individual. Are you a fully formed adult? Are you going to be where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing? Or are we going to have to come check on you every day like you're a bad attitude teenager? Those are the kinds of things that we're interested in. So again, when you're interviewing, you need to have these technical experiences so you can speak to them, but you need to also make sure that you understand that when they ask you the follow-up questions, that your weaknesses are inexperience based and not dispositional.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks. Other questions that you have for me today? Chris, I'm getting a lot of feedback that your work is great.
I'm having a good experience. You've met my principal. She's extremely supportive, very empowering. Yeah. I'm loving it so far. Yes,
and so I hope Dr. Ted, I'll send him this. And I didn't mean that he's teaching you a lot. I'm talking about you have such a wonderful place for your experience, and that affects the quality of your work. I mean, that's one of the things that all interns, I hope you're all listening, is the quality of the experience, is the level of access that you have in your building, are really what makes your work stand out, and the learning come. And the preparation part of it is yes, we have classes, and I hope you're learning something in your classes and from these other things, but truly, as a person who's in charge of all clinical experiences, I know I'm biased in this area, but I believe it's the clinical experiences that lead you to that great work. And so I'm getting a lot of good feedback on that, and for that I'm grateful. And I know that Clarence is getting. I'm making a living off ACOG. I'm there all the time. I love that place though. That's when that may be my favorite place of all my schools that I work on a regular basis. It's probably my favorite middle school in terms of. I know that if you're there, you get a great experience. But I know Chris and Graham are getting a great experience in Asheboro too. So, and see, it's almost school based and it's administrator based. You know, if you're at the right school with the right administrator, you're gonna be great. If you're not, you're not going to be. And so with Ms. Brown at ACOC, I've had such great success, or our interns have, and that's what's important. They've had great success there. And Rhonda, you're up at Presley.
Yes.
I've had one. I think Ben was mine. I think he was there a few years ago. He transferred over from one of the other schools. I think I finished up with him at Presley. So
Okay.
I know that's a good experience too up in Statesville. I just live down the road from you here, so I'll come and see you. When are we gonna get together?
I'm working on that. We've got a lot of meetings this week, so I'm trying to work it out with my AP right now since my principal's out.
Yeah, I know.
So as soon as she gets back with me, I'll get back with you.
All right, so this week I'm going to, I've got trips tomorrow, and then I'm going to go see Whitney over in Albemarle on Tuesday. I'm going to go down and see Thurman down in Saluda that's down south and west of Columbia, South Carolina. I'm going to see Thurman on Wednesday, so I can work something out on those days, or if it's going to be the next week. But just let me know.
Okay, I will.
When that's coming up, and I'll get up to see you. All right, I see. I was 2 minutes late getting started, and I see my hour is up. I try to keep these at an hour. And
Okay.
anything more than that, I'm afraid people will slip out of a deep sleep into a coma if they have to listen for more than an hour. I know that most everybody went to sleep about 30 minutes in, so I don't want to hurt anybody, so I better quit today. I'll be back online again. You know, I kind of gauge these things. I went 3 weeks in a row, then took a week off, and now we come back on again, and I'll post this one. I'll kind of gauge. It may be a couple of weeks before I come back on. I don't want to bore you. I don't want to waste your time. So I appreciate you participating with me as always, Chris, Clarence. Thank you for coming on. Rhonda, it's nice to meet you today. And I'll be back on in a couple of weeks. If I feel something important pops up, I'll come back on next weekend. But otherwise, it'll probably be a couple of weeks, be 2 weeks before I come back again. I don't think there's anything spectacular coming up between now and then. If there is, I'll let you know. So y'all all have a good day, and I appreciate you participating with me today. And I'll see you again soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.